Exodus, Gods and Kings, the new movie directed by Ridley Scott. And here we have Christian Bale as Moses and Joel Edgerton as Ramses. Uh, if we look at movies in the same genre, Ridley Scott also directed Robin Hood and Gladiator. And I think that with Gladiator, there are some similarities between these two movies. Firstly, we have the whole issue with the king who has this son, but he doesn't want the son to become the king. He wants this other guy to become the king, but this other guy doesn't have the right to become the king because he's not in the right bloodline, so he has no right to reclaim the throne. Yeah. Secondly, we have this issue where the main character loses his way. He can't find his path. So he debarks on a journey and kind of loses focus for a while, just so that he can return to deal with everything that he had to deal with back home, something like that, of course. And then thirdly, these two movies both begin with an epic battlefield, just to establish the characters and which you're supposed to like and which you're supposed to like a little less and which you're just supposed to hate more or less. So that's the three common denominators. Generally, I think that Exodus, Gods and Kings is really well made. I think that the photography in this movie and the special visual effects are really, really great. I think that the scenes where we see Egypt as it probably was really well done. And I also think that the epic battle scenes with thousands of people just pouring in and fighting each other was really, really well made. And I think the classic scenes where the frogs just flooded Egypt, and then also where the Nile turned red, and all of those scenes were really, really, really well made. And I think that it's kind of interesting also because in the beginning, you get the feeling that, I mean, you start to doubt whether if it's because of natural causes that everything of this happens, or if it's because of this actual, or if it's actually is this God that becomes furious and curses the land and so on. So that part is really, really interesting. I'm not going to get into the whole, Ridley Scott is a racist because of his cast, blah, blah, blah. But besides the visual effects and the thing that kept the movie together, I felt that the movie was going in several different directions. And to me, it was mostly because of the cast. Because besides Joel Edgerton and Christian Bale, we also have Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. We have Sigourney Weaver from Aliens. And we have John Turturro from Transformers. And we also have Ben Kingsley as the leader of the Hebrews, who keep them all together, who tells this story in a pure Ben Kingsley way. And I felt that all of these famous actors who are really, really great, I mean, it felt like the movie was more of an action story about these two characters rather than a classical mythology story. And it was a little hard for me to take this story seriously because of this. Then again, everybody, all of the actors and actresses are great actors and actresses. It's nothing against them. It's just that when I saw them in this kind of movie, it just felt a little bit too modern for me. And here comes the really ironic part. To me, the accents were all over the place. I mean, for instance, Christian Bale starts with this British accent, and then he slowly turns and switches it, changes it to an American accent. And he has a different accent than Ramses, and Ramses have a different accent than his parents, and so on and so on and so on. So it felt a bit weird with all these different accents in this movie that mostly was about this family that were supposed to have the same accent. And then we have the way they spoke. I mean, it didn't really feel like it was 5,000 years ago or whatever. It felt like it was today with normal problems. Well, not normal problems, but it felt like they had the conversations today, and it didn't feel like ancient language, which I hoped it would. So all of these different bits and pieces, you know, the script, the actors, and the accent made me feel like the movie was a little bit all over the place. And to be honest with you, I'd rather prefer the animated version that came out in '98, you know, where Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey went. But that's just me. So here is my grading system. Even if the movie had a few downsides with the choice of actors, the accent, and the script, I think that the movie is held together by the great visual effects and the great photography over Egypt and everything like that. So this movie gets 3 Gs, 3 out of 5 Gs. although they are rather lame, rather weak G's, but still it passes for it passes for a great cinema experience. What did you think about this movie? Leave a comment below and I'll answer as fast as I can. This is my first review in English or Swinglish or however you'll say it, so I hope you liked it. See you soon.